If you pull up a map right now, you'll notice something curious. The Alps form a natural wall between the north and south of Europe, as if the planet itself decided that certain things simply should not mix. For centuries, crossing that barrier meant weeks of dangerous travel, extreme cold, and the very real risk of death. Today, engineers want to drill through that mountain from end to end and turn what was once an impassable frontier into a journey of less than 30 minutes by train. And the project is already underway. If you want to understand how humanity is literally punching a hole through the heart of Europe, stay right here, because this video is going to blow your mind. Subscribe to the channel right now and hit the bell so you never miss a video like this one. The Brenner Base Tunnel is the most ambitious infrastructure project in Europe in the 21st century. At 64 kilometers in total length, it will become the longest railway tunnel in the world when completed, surpassing even the famous Gotthard Base Tunnel, which holds the record today. But what makes this project truly extraordinary is not just its size. It is what lies beneath the ground and what is at stake for two entire continents. The tunnel connects the city of Innsbruck in Austria to Fortezza in Italy, passing directly beneath the Alps. It sounds simple on a map, but when you start to understand what exists between those 2 points, the complexity explodes. The mountains here rise more than 3,000 meters above sea level. The geological pressure in certain sections is so intense that the rocks behave almost like plastic, deforming slowly around the excavation machines. And when you drill a hole more than 64 kilometers long beneath all of that, any mistake can be catastrophic. Now, why not simply build a bridge or improve the roads? The answer lies in the Alps themselves. Alpine routes are already at their capacity limits. Trucks cross the Brenner Pass in staggering numbers, more than 2 million vehicles per year on this route alone. Mountain road traffic causes severe pollution in closed valleys, harms the health of local populations, and makes freight transport expensive and slow. A bridge would be structurally impossible at most critical points. And expanding the roads would mean destroying alpine ecosystems protected under European law. The tunnel, therefore, is not an aesthetic choice. It is the only logical way out. The idea of drilling through the Alps in this region is not new. The first serious proposal dates back to the 1970s, when European engineers began discussing alternatives to the growing road traffic. But it was only in 1989, with the end of the Cold War and the political rapprochement between European countries, that the project gained real traction. Italy and Austria signed formal agreements in 1994. Geological studies, preliminary designs, and political battles consumed 2 more decades. Real construction began in 2011 and is expected to be completed in 2032. That is more than 20 years of continuous construction to create something that will last for centuries. The estimated budget is around 10 billion euros, with 2/3 funded by the European Union. But budgets on projects of this size rarely survive contact with geological reality. The Channel Tunnel between England and France, which opened in 1994, ended up costing twice its original budget. The Gotthard Base Tunnel itself, inaugurated in 2016, accumulated delays and additional costs along the way. Nobody working on the Brenner expects it to be different. What they expect is that it will be worth it, and the numbers suggest that it will. The design of the tunnel is itself an engineering achievement that deserves close attention. There is not just one tunnel, there are 3. 2 main tunnels, one for each railway direction, run in parallel approximately 70 meters apart. Between them, a third smaller tunnel, called the Exploratory Tunnel, serves as a service corridor for maintenance and emergency evacuation. Every 333 meters, cross passages connect the 3 tubes. In the event of an accident or fire, passengers can be transferred to the service tunnel in less than 2 minutes. Every detail was designed for the worst possible scenario. The geology of the Alps created challenges that no engineering textbook could fully predict. The mountains in this region are made up of layers of rock with completely different ages and compositions. In some sections, the tunnel boring machines, known as TBMs, which are pieces of equipment more than 400 meters long and cost tens of millions each, encountered granite as hard as steel. In others, they ran into fault zones where the rock was so fragmented and saturated with water that partial collapses happened repeatedly. On at least 2 occasions, engineers had to retreat, re-inject concrete and cement into the walls, and begin drilling again from scratch. Nature does not cooperate with schedules. Underground water is another constant enemy. Alpine mountains accumulate snow and ice that, as they melt, slowly infiltrates through the cracks in the rock. In some sections of the Brenner tunnel, excavation crews faced jets of pressurized water bursting from the wall, with enough force to halt work for days at a time. Drainage systems had to be redesigned on site, something that no advanced planning could entirely prevent. The lesson engineers learn on projects like this is always the same. The planet has its own ideas about what should be where. But perhaps the most silent and most dangerous challenge is the pressure of the mountains themselves. At depths reaching 1,700 meters below the peaks above, the rock pressing down on the tunnel weighs so much that it literally flows slowly toward the empty spaces created by excavation. Engineers call this phenomenon rock convergence, and it can narrow a tunnel by centimeters every year if left uncontrolled. The concrete lining installed immediately after excavation must withstand pressures of dozens of tons per square meter. There is no margin for error. What is placed on the wall today must function for at least 200 years. When the tunnel enters operation, the impact will be immediate and profound. High-speed trains will cross the Alps in approximately 25 minutes, carrying passengers and freight between northern and southern Europe like never before. The projected capacity is more than 400 trains per day, including freight trains that currently travel the highway routes in heavy, polluting trucks. It is estimated that the tunnel will remove more than 7 million trucks from Alpine roads every single year. In carbon emission terms, that figure is equivalent to permanently taking more than 1 million cars off the road. The economic impact is equally transformative. Northern Italy, one of the most important industrial regions in Europe, will be less than 1 hour from Munich by train. Cities like Verona, Bolzano, and Innsbruck will functionally merge into a continuous economic corridor. Tourism, logistics, labor, and trade will flow in ways that are still difficult to fully quantify today. European planners see the Brenner not as a tunnel, but as the backbone of a newly connected Europe. And this project does not exist in isolation. It is part of a larger railway corridor called the Scandinavian-Mediterranean Corridor, which will eventually connect Finland to southern Italy by high-speed rail. The Brenner is the central piece, the most difficult obstacle along that entire route. Once it is ready, the entire logic of movement across the European continent will change. Of course, other projects around the world are pushing the boundaries of what we call possible. Japan already operates underwater tunnels that connect its main islands. China has built more than 30,000 kilometers of high-speed railway in less than 2 decades. Norway is planning a floating tunnel anchored in the middle of a fjord, something that technically does not exist anywhere on the planet yet. Each of these projects sounds absurd until the moment it works, and then it becomes the new standard. The Brenner Tunnel will be finished. It may run late, it may cost more than planned, it will certainly reveal geological surprises that nobody predicted, but it will be finished. And when the first trains cross the Alps underground, in silence and at high speed, what today seems like an extraordinary achievement will feel like just another line on a map. That is how humanity works. It drills through mountains, connects continents, and then it is already thinking about the next challenge. If this video changed the way you think about what it is possible to build, hit the like button right now, share it with someone who loves engineering and history, and subscribe to the channel, because the next video is going to show you how engineers are planning to build an entire city underwater, and that project could begin before 2040. You will not want to miss it.